I am
Please
so
make it very clear.
okay.
Facing that camera.
May 10th, I'm inviting you, all the communities, good people here in Canada, in Quebec. Come, I'm presenting you first edition of Les ArrivArts. We are a small world in one little show. Many styles, many genres, from jazz to pop to rock to Afrobeat to classical to Hawaiian dance to to Arabic dance. Oh, I can't even name it all artists I'm presenting this Saturday. I mean, not this Saturday, Saturday, May 10th at 7 p.m. And after that, at 10 p.m., we're starting party. Bar is open. 3 DJs are mixing.
Relax.
Hello viewers, welcome to Baraza Media Television, the voice of Africa and Afro descent. I am Jane Yoike, host of Next Level Show. What is your next level? Well, our next level at Baraza Media TV is to always amplify the voice of Africa, Afro descent, diversity and inclusion through our informative and inspirational storytelling, news, and event. And today, we are humbled and delighted to have with us a very special guest. Imagine, she's an opera singer. International opera singer is right here at Baraza Media Studios. Without further ado, please allow me to welcome, and she's going to introduce herself. Thank you. Welcome, Marina. Maria or Marina?
Marina.
Marina. Welcome to Baraza Media Television.
Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you. I'm so humbled to be here. You made me like sound as a big thing.
No, don't be shy. Don't be shy. Let the whole world know.
Thank
that
you so much.
Have that gift from God.
Thank you.
Yes.
Well, I need to say it is a gift because I grew up in Ukraine, and my parents actually give me this little gift. My dad actually, he grew up in Ukraine when it was after the war. I remember 7 kids, and he told me this story that he wanted to buy a violin. He wanted to practice violin, but it was not possible. So what he did actually, he was the third one from the 7 kids in a row, and he actually, when it was time for him to go in university, the grandfather gave him money to go and pay tickets for the train and pay the school and food and maybe apartment to rent, or I don't know what exactly. And he took all this money, and he didn't buy shoes for the winter. And he saw the gypsy playing violin, and he bought this violin, and he was walking in -20 in Carpathian Mountains for 2 years without proper winter shoes, because he really had a huge love for the music, and that's how it started. Then when he married my mom was professional accordiονist. She was also a music teacher. She worked in Ukraine as a musicotherapist for children without parents. It was like a foster house. So she was a music teacher there. And when they married together, she was the one professional, he was the one amateur. And she wanted me to also, when I started to be like more active, and apparently I was singing since I was a baby, so they said, okay, this girl is going to sing, it's clear. So they created like a family ensemble, my dad on a violin, my mom on accordion, except my dad was amateur, he didn't know how to read the notes, so my mom had to always adapt tonality just for his range to play. And we started touring around Ukraine, and at the age of 12, I became a national artist of Ukraine.
Let me just stop you there, just for the sake of our viewers, so that they can follow. So, Marina, you were born in Ukraine.
I was born in Ukraine.
And when did you move with your parents to Canada?
The road was quite interesting. Nothing than that. I was thinking that the God would bring me to across the ocean, because I grew up in Transcarpathia. It's bordered close to Hungary on one side, and 2 hours from Poland as well.
Yes.
So not really far on the borders of, it's west of Ukraine.
So how old did you come to Canada?
I came already as an adult in 2003,
Okay.
but my way was through Czech Republic, because I went on my 17 to study conservatoire professionally as an opera singer in Czech Republic, and that's how I met my husband there. He was Czech Canadian, and that was my to follow him to come here.
Okay, so you came to Canada 2003. When did you discover your talent of opera singing?
Opera singing was really something. My mom was a teacher, so when I was growing up, milking cows and running on the farm in Ukraine, picking up plums, just being a normal child on the farm. She was a teacher, so she would come home and she would put a radio of opera singer. Okay. I hated that. Those ladies were singing very high. I couldn't stand it. Okay. I wanted to be a pop star, and I was a dancer. She put me in ballet. Okay. But somehow it was subconsciously on my head. I heard it. And then on age of 14, I entered professionally to Uzhgorod, which is a city of 40 kilometers from the village. And I started to do training as an opera singer in a classical training. But at the same time, I entered to a law school. Okay. And my dad said, no, you're not becoming a lawyer. I sold my violin so I can have an artist in the family, and he motivated me to stay as a musician.
Was a singer.
My father was an amateur. No, he was a train conductor, but he loved so much music, and it was really a big inspiration for him. And when he heard that I can sing, he really encouraged me to stay in music. So I studied there for 2 years. My dad, because in Ukraine in that time, in 90s, it was not easy. Ukraine just became independent. So he decided to move to Czech Republic to work on the roof as a roofer, to make some money, to support daughter, to pay transport to a city. Yes. And after a year, he asked my mom to join him, because he said, if we don't stay together, the family can fall apart. Right. And my mom is like, I want my child. I saw there is a conservatory, and she took me there by hand, and there was a teacher. She was just preparing for September. It was August. And my mom said, let's go there. I didn't speak Czech. Right. She barely spoke Czech language. But the teacher thought that I'm coming to do exam or something for entrance. So she put a few chords on the piano. I made a vocalist, and she said, you made it.
Just like that.
Just like that. And then my papers came, and 2 weeks I returned to Ukraine, and my mom is like, pack your suitcase, you were accepted to conservatoire. And that's how I started studying.
So when you say pack your bag and go, it was a boarding school?
It was a boarding school, yeah. But luckily for me, my parents were already there in Czech Republic. My father was working and my mom was there, so they supported me. The only problem was that as an international student in Czech Republic, you pay a lot of money for the school, and I had to start to work as well. And I started to work as a cook. So during the day I was in a school. During the night I went helping in the cook.
This school, sorry to cut you there. And this school, just for the sake of our viewers, we want them to understand. This school is for singing only. It's school for music.
No, not only for the singers. It's for the pianists, for all the instruments. But it's a high level. It is actually to train professional artists.
So purely music.
Purely music.
Oh, okay.
Music, theater, art, history, music, also pedagogy, and also psychology. This is also when I got my degree there in psychology and pedagogy. Okay. And that helped me practically today to become also a teacher here in Canada, because presently I'm working as a music teacher specialist on a full-time in 2 schools for Commission Scolaire Margaret Bourgeois. Okay. And but finishing conservatoire in 2nd year, I met my husband there. And
okay, so now you finished the music. How many years?
It was 5 years. It's supposed to, usually it's for 6 years. Okay. I did 5, and I follow my husband to come to Canada. He was Canadian, and he decided. Well, he was a professional pianist. He was already touring with orchestra. During those years, we also went to perform to Israel, to England. I was already part of the opera there. He was already touring with orchestra, so it was a good money too, because in Europe, classical music is highly demanding. You really need to get to the certain level. But I wanted to continue study. I wanted to do bachelor degree, a master degree. I thought I will go to Italy in opera performance.
Okay.
And he wanted to go as a classical pianist, but he was thinking Germany. But then again, we were already married. I said, eventually we want to have children. It's not a good for family to be apart. And we took a decision, so I would follow him to come to Canada.
Oh, because he's Canadian.
Because he's Canadian.
Okay, and you met in the same school of
Yep.
opera school. Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, we met in the German class. We were two people that were like from East and West.
So
and
you
then
speak
just
German too?
I had to learn it.
Tag.
Guten Tag. I had to. They're good.
Okay, good.
I had to learn those languages practically in 4 years: Czech, German, Italian, and English.
Right.
I failed in English. I didn't learn because it was too much to learn Czech and pass the maîtrise.
Well, but here you are speaking in English. You are doing this interview. In
Oh,
English.
now yes. In those years, the teacher understood my problem that one little brain cannot put so many languages. So he said, "Don't worry, you married Canadian. Eventually, you'll learn English." So
Right.
he just gave me the mark and he let me go.
Lucky you. Okay, continue.
Well, what can I say?
So now you are here in Canada.
Now I'm here in Canada since 2003. Since 2003, well, I then for the second time I realized for the second time I'm going through adaptation, and for the second time I'm becoming immigrant, and that was not easy.
Yeah, so what did you do? Because we want to know, as an immigrant, you're here, you already have that background of opera and psychology. So how did you navigate your way?
Well, I didn't start right away as an
Okay.
opera singer. I came here, and as everyone, we are in Quebec. We have to go through the francisation and take the classes, and maybe not for the immigrants who are coming from French-speaking countries, but me, I came from Ukraine, and from all the languages I learned, like German, Italian, Russian, and all these languages, I still realize that neither of those languages will help me. I have to learn French. And first day, I'm coming to class, and bonjour, madame, and it starts, and 9 months after, class by class,
French classes.
French classes, and step by step, I learned. I started to understand. I started to write. I was passing all the courses.
The levels, yeah.
At the same time, I started to work. I started to work for Ukrainian company Yevshan. They were selling all kind of goods, and they needed someone who speaks Ukrainian.
Okay.
So that was helpful. I made a few monies. Then I started teaching
And what
because
is happening now with your with the singing?
I'm having a pianist at home. He's always accompanying me. So I'm training, and we're performing. We're making concerts. That also gave us opportunity to enter to the circle of the musicians.
Right.
And slowly, after 1 year, I'm entering as a student at l'Université Québec à Montréal. And this is when career started. My teacher was Colette Boki, very famous opera singer here in Quebec. She was singing with Pavarotti in La Scala, in Metropolitan Opera, vedette.
All the big names, right?
Big names. I also was part of the Atelier Opera there. She gave me amazing roles to sing, like Wind of the Night, Lakme. She worked my range as a coloratura. But at the same time, I was taking classes with McGill professor Lucille Evans.
Right.
And her husband, he was a polyglot. He was Jewish and she was Quebecois. And they were living in Westmount, and I would take classes with them in their apartment.
Yes.
And my husband, at the same time, he started to study in McGill, continued doing his studies as a professional pianist. We started also doing more touring more, and on the side we created as well. It's a world music band where we took Ukrainian songs and we arranged in all different styles, jazz, country, a bit of arrangement from different motifs, but mostly I sang in Ukrainian language.
Okay.
Those are like old folkloric songs.
Right.
And then we did concerts. We were touring Toronto, London, Ontario, all over. Meanwhile, my parents moved to Antigua. And when I graduated, I had my first baby. And I opened music school in Westmount. We opened it together.
What is the name of your school? Great.
My school,
Congratulations.
thank you. My school name people know very well here. I have a lot of students. Centro di Musique Fortepiano was my school for very long.
Okay.
And many amazing students went through my hands. Some of them even went back to Europe in France. And right now they're also professional musicians.
So from there, you have your school.
School, 3 children.
Okay.
I play with my children in the morning while Daddy is in McGill, continuing his study.
So they
Yes,
followed your footsteps.
they did.
Okay.
My son is is going to be 17 in September. My daughter is going to be 15,
Okay.
Bohumil Isabella, and my youngest is 12.
And what kind of instruments do they play in the house?
Oh my goodness, they all sing. They all
Okay.
sing very well.
Opera.
No, they love it. They know they practically can recopy any of my arias, especially girls. But they sing all their own styles. They are teenagers, you know. But they do play instruments. Of course, we introduce piano to
Yeah,
them.
of course.
My son, in school, they started to be like flute, recorder, like flute à bec. And then at...
What about the violin? Like your dad?
I give him
So they
little
follow
violin.
that footstep?
I give him a little violin. We practice a little bit. And then I realized he's like me. You know, my dad put me on a violin as well when I was a little. And me, instead of going to the violin classes, I went to play with my friend. I waited for the ballet class and then dance was fun. And then I went to the ballet. So the whole year was passing like that. No, violin didn't work with them, either of them. Piano, yes, but he plays very well clarinet. My daughter played saxophone.
Right.
And my youngest flute traversier. Yeah.
Right.
So this is what they're doing. They're dancing. They're both ballerinas and dancing on points. They're part of the Ballet West. We live in Pointe-Claire, so they're part of the Ballet West. And the life goes on, and the life goes on. I'm touring. I'm doing these concerts as an opera singer, and then I entered to be I closed the school in Westmount. I opened ballet school in West Island, and then I entered.
What's the reason for closing it?
In West Island, we closed because we moved to West Island. We bought the house.
Okay.
And the ballet school I closed because of the COVID. COVID became.
Yeah, COVID really took down a lot of businesses. Yeah.
Yeah. So and then I also was a full-time teacher, first engaged as a specialist for autistic children and children in special needs.
Right.
As I told you at the beginning, also had a psychology degree from like psychology classes, so I can like relate with children.
Practice,
Yeah, I
yes.
can practice. And after that, I said to myself, well, I think I'm more music specialist than this. So I switched after 7 years to become a full-time music teacher.
You left the school.
I didn't leave the school. I was working for 4 different school boards. I work in high.
Bourgeois, you say.
Before Margaret, so I will go backward. Now I'm Margaret Bourgeois, before Trois-Lacs, and then Lester B. Pearson. I work here in Montreal School Board. So I work
You
in
moved
many.
around, yes.
I love to be a teacher.
Okay.
I love it. I love to work with kids. I have from maternelle to grade 6.
Right.
I'm very passionate. But on the side,
Yes, on the side.
on the side, what actually happened that I was meeting a lot of immigrants. When the war started in Ukraine, it happened to me that I was singing in many concerts, and I would always they would invite him to sing aria, Italian aria, and the war started, and I had this need, I wanted to help my country, I want to help my people somehow. So I realized there is a big wave coming of people, and many
And the
mothers.
immigrants here we are talking about is your people from your country.
For now,
Ukrainians.
for Ukrainians, yeah.
Okay.
And I started helping mothers who were arriving pregnant and were close to the due date, and some of them would just arrived and went go to the hospital, not knowing the language, not knowing nobody, and
Because in Ukraine, you don't speak English, you only speak
Ukrainian.
Ukrainian.
Yeah.
Right.
And because many people had to leave by force,
Really?
and the husband said, well, I go protect the country, but you're
go be
pregnant.
safe.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they ended to be, let's say, in a refugee camp in Poland, but then Canada allowed to bring some refugees by 3 planes, and those mothers came, and they were priorities because they needed the help.
Yes.
But when they came here, the first few weeks, they had help from Red Cross. And after that, you have to
Fend
go.
for yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. So I actually organized mothers, Canadian mothers in West Island, those who followed me as an artist, because I have my artist page and people knew me. So if I posted something as an artist, I'm having a concert, everybody followed. I had this resource of community.
Yes.
And then I said, this time, ladies, I need your help. We need to help this mother or that mother.
Right.
So I would focus on few specific mother in need. And through the church, people would bring stuff. Sometimes they would bring to my garage, to my room. My house in one point was like a storage. Full. My kids didn't even know who's coming in the house. My garage was open. My door was open. My backyard was open. People are bringing. I would pack my van. I would bring to the Red Cross, to the hospital, strollers. And that was for a good year and a half like that.
Thank you for that. That is humility. Fellow Ukrainians started calling you for help. And
I was receiving messages on my Facebook, let's say, I didn't even see some people. I would just message would come.
Yeah.
We need your help, ta, 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 ta. And I'm like, yes, what do you need? And there was a list. We need this. Somebody told me that you're helping. Yes. And I would just post it. People would bring. I use my artistry as a God's...
as a platform
to lead me to help. I always wanted to help because when I came, I realized how lucky I was to have, at that time, my husband to support me, to have this road, and I wanted to help.
Yes.
But when these Ukrainians started already learned French, babies started growing, many of them started to find jobs and establish themselves. I realized
you help them integrate into the society.
I just helped them
down.
at the beginning when there was need.
Right.
So many babies were born. They would send me pictures. They would show me babies doing well. It was really touching.
Very touching, yes.
But at the same time, my 2 cousins were on the war protecting. So we were looking from the side. But through this, I also met a lot of artists.
Yes.
And I realized that the story from these artists were always the same. They would say, yeah, I used to be a singer there, or I used to do some painting, or I used to do filmmaking in my country.
Yes.
And then slowly, I started meeting people from different countries, from Africa, from Caribbeans, from all of...
Yes.
It was meant to be for me. People were coming towards me, and I started questioning, God, what is my mission with this? Where is this leading?
Yes.
And the idea came to my head. And it was like, I came here to Afro Museum. This is how it started. I came here to dance kizomba.
Yes.
I love to dance. So it's my hobby.
Yes.
I'm a professional artist as a singer,
But you also
but
love
I love
dancing.
to dance.
Right.
So I came to dance kizomba, which I didn't know what is kizomba. I just came to dance. The friend introduced me to kizomba. And I thought something easy because I danced tango, but it was not easy. You have to know that dance. So I came there, I sit by the bar, and nobody's taking me to dance because they realizing that I don't know how to dance kizomba. So I'm sitting, and I'm turning back, and the only person who can talk to me was Freddie, manager of the Afro Museum.
Yes.
Although I didn't know he's a manager of Afro Museum, I just thought he is just a barman. So I turned to him and said, like, listen, I'm sitting here. It's been already an hour. Nobody's taking me to dance. Like, can we talk? And it's like, yeah. It's like, what do you do for a living? And he smiled. He said, I'm an artist. I'm a Yama art too.
He
I
actually
paint.
takes care of all the logistics.
He didn't tell me that yet. He just said, I'm an artist.
Yes.
And I said, oh, you're an artist. I'm also an artist. I used to sing here before Afro Museum was here. There was a gallery and I performed here as an opera singer. There was a baby ground.
Yes.
I said, what happened with that baby ground? And he said, oh, Marina, it was a long time ago. Now this is the Afro Museum. There is a new director, new management. And he said, I work here as well as a manager.
Right.
And right away idea came to my head. I'm like, whoa, okay. You know what? I know so many artists. We need a place to meet somewhere. I would like to create this platform for the artists, immigrants, when we can just meet for 1 hour so I can introduce them. So maybe if he's doing photo shoot and she has a défilé of the fashion show, maybe I can put them together because people don't know each other here. They come and they don't know where to go and find. The one lives in Montréal, another lives in some kind of Rive Sud.
Yes.
And he said, okay, I'll give you the contact of the director of Guy.
The place,
And
yes.
yes, and he connected me and he said, no problem, Marina. The artists are welcome. We have from 5 to 7 every Sunday when the artists are meeting. And this is how we started. January, few months ago, I've always said, listen, come for the meeting. We're doing this and this and this. I started this platform. We found the name Les ArrivArts.
What is
Les ArrivArts means the artists that came to
Have
Canada.
arrived. Yes.
Arrived. And then I started to think, but I'm also an immigrant artist. And it's like, this is very interesting.
Right.
And then what kind of blessings came to me, because I was always in classical music for so long, and I would just focus on that, Mozart, Beethoven, Puccini, And suddenly I started I wanted to write in English, in French, some pop,
Right.
but I never did that before. So it's like a bit not your comfort zone.
Yes.
So I went home, I sat by the piano, I put a few chords, and I started writing, and the words started coming to me. I'm like, this is how it's done, the words are coming, melody is coming, this is easy. My kids started laughing, Mama singing with the big accent in English. Mama, what are you doing? Please stay with your arias, with your Mozart, don't do this. You have a big accent, it's funny. And my son came and he said, what is this melody, Mama? And Isabella said, well, Mama just wrote it. And he said, it's good, I like it. Can you sing it for me?
Yeah, actually, sing it. Sing it for us.
Oh.
Yeah, please. This is it. Sing it for us.
But you made me speechless, standing in the darkness, crying with no sound, breaking down in tears, hiding it with silence, going through the madness, waiting for the pain to disappear.
Wow.
Well, by this,
Yes.
we're going to have May 10th here in Afro Museum, first edition of Les ArrivArts. I am
Please
so
make it very clear.
okay.
Facing that camera.
May 10th, I'm inviting you, all the communities, good people here in Canada, in Quebec. Come, I'm presenting you first edition of Les ArrivArts. We are a small world in one little show. Many styles, many genres, from jazz to pop to rock to Afrobeat to classical to Hawaiian dance to, to Arabic dance. Oh, I can't even name it all artists I'm presenting this Saturday. I mean, not this Saturday, Saturday, May 10th at 7 p.m. And after that, at 10 p.m., we're starting party. Bar is open. 3 DJs are mixing. We're having a DJ from a Haitian community. We're having artists from Cameroon. We're having from Ghana, from Ukraine. We have 2 fashion shows. We're going to be presenting Amishika's design creation. Her mom is from born in Jamaica. Her father is from Africa, so her design is very influenced by this two nations, two cultures together.
Yes.
Because I'm Ukrainian, so I really wanted to show Ukrainian traditional costumes.
Absolutely,
We have a collection.
Yes.
I wrote my song, so I'm going to be for the first time presenting in big accent of English and a huge accent of Francais, my 2 songs that I wrote. I also will be singing opera with very great pianist Olga Kudryakova, who was an immigrant and who fled Ukraine during the war. Most of the models are actually immigrants who came recently, and they wanted to be a part of the project. We have amazing jazz singer and a gentleman who...
The same day.
Everything is happening the same day. This is like a bouquet, the whole world in one small Afro museum.
I mean, any
Tickets on, yes, and yes, we still have some expenses to cover.
And how much is it? Tell them.
Tickets are on Eventbrite, $60, but there is like Eventbrite fees and tax. Yeah.
$60.
$60 with little fees on Eventbrite. I am very grateful this is happening.
Yes.
Because I wanted so much to showcase these artists, to give them chance to show. When they came today, we had a dress rehearsal, and when they met each other, when they look at each other, when they heard each other, they felt like, wow, we can still continue our art. We can still create. We can still sing, perform, create, paint, do film. We will going to have a little presentation of filmmakers. We're going to have, Yama Art, our manager of the Afro Museum, he's going to present his art finally.
Yes.
I am humble and I'm very grateful. I'm also grateful you are giving me this opportunity. Baraza Media TV, you rock. Honestly, I cannot express my gratitude to every possible human being who came towards me. I'm grateful to God that I have this opportunity to do that. I'm also very thankful to my children who gave me space
to do what
because every Sunday for so many months when I came here donating my time to these artists, to regroup them, to manage them, to coordinate them,
it takes a toll. It's not easy.
They were amazing. They were cooking, they were cleaning the house, they prepared themselves, they're all organized, they're having a good marks, and I'm saying to myself, this is amazing.
You know, I can never let you can't leave the studio today without giving us a little hint
Of opera?
Oh, absolutely.
I knew it.
Let's do it.
Oh mio bambino caro, mi piace bello, bello, andare in Porta Rosa a comprare l'anello. Sì, ci Ma per buttare via narno mi strago e mi tormento. Oh Dio, vorrei morir.
Bravo.
Thank you. Well, I need to apologize a little bit because I was coughing for several days, and you took me by surprise. I would do few vocalizers before.
No, you know what? That's a true testament that God has blessed you.
Thank you so
with
much.
that angelic voice. Unbelievable.
Thank you.
Wow. You want to repeat again to our viewers, when is your show? Please, this is it. Yeah.
I'm inviting you with open heart. Come support our artists, our immigrant artists. May 10th in Afro Museum, 533 Ontario Street in Montreal at 7 p.m. Tickets are on Eventbrite. We're going to share probably information, right? Grab your ticket in 2 weeks. See you here. It will be my pleasure to sing for you. And also, there is so many African artists in this group of Les ArrivArts. May 10th at 7 p.m. Afro Museum, 733 Ontario Street.
Great. And you know, when you were saying that, you know what came into my mind? Have you ever thought of doing a collab with an Actually, we had, before you came, we had Eve,
Really?
one of our best singers in Montreal. How about maybe you collab with him?
We would love to collab. And you know what? We are open platform. Les ArrivArts is really open platform.
Right.
So what actually happened that artist from Cameroon,
Yes.
Yuta Jorel, who came and he said, Marina, you know, you have this angelic voice and I'm rapping Afrobeat. Would you do like a little bit of, you know, like vocalist there? And I'm like, why not? So we started doing that. We're going to present this off on the fashion show of our designer, Amishika, who was invited to be fashion designer for Mad Festival in August.
Yes.
So this is going to be big
So you're trying to tell
collaboration.
me it is possible for you to
Everything is possible. What is not possible to human is possible to God, right?
Fantastic. So this is what we do best at Baraza Media Television. So we'll make sure that we hook you up, Marina, with Eve, our gospel artist,
Amazing.
talented. And let's see how far this will go. And I believe it will go very far. I
I
strongly believe that.
Thank you so much. This
Yes.
is actually amazing. And that's the whole thing. You know, I started going from community to community, community to community. And my message is very simple.
Yes.
We are all together. You know, when I came to Canada and I started seeing that people are becoming a little bit like, these are mixed. I don't know. What you don't know, it becomes strange. When it becomes strange, you don't really, you have like a little bit of, that's not me. I believe when I was even doing a Montreal Ukrainian Festival, we invited different communities.
Yes.
That was my mission. I believe that
You want to bring people
when
together.
you bring people together,
Yes.
you bring communities together, you show that, but also inclusiveness, also to introduce to the Quebec culture that as immigrants, look, I came here, I learned French. I work in French environment. We all, there is a possibility. And I think the art is the bridge to that.
Absolutely.
Art is the bridge.
True. Agreed.
Thank you so much.
And thank you also for coming over at Baraza Media Television. Well, viewers, you had it from Marina, opera singer. You had her beautiful angelic voice. Please don't miss May 10th, right here at Afro Museum, 533 Rue Ontario East. And it's what time again? What time?
7 p.m.
7 p.m. Yes.
7 p.m.
It's when it starts, huh? 7
Starts
p.m.
at 7 p.m.
Great. You had it. So thank you very much for tuning in. This is all the time we had for today. I am Jane Yoike, host of Next Level Show. And do not forget to subscribe to all our YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram. We are everywhere. Welcome on board and thank you very much. Until we meet again, thank you. Bye for now.